Welcome back, everybody. Today we're diving deep into something I think we're all interested in: passive income.
Yeah.
And not just the basics. We're going to explore what's on the horizon for 2025. We've got a fantastic article from Forbes.com to guide us. It's titled "Passive Income Ideas for Financial Security in 2025." It was written by Melissa Houston,
Oh, yeah.
a CPA and business strategist, so we're in good hands.
Absolutely. She lays out a compelling case for why now is the time to really rethink passive income. It's not just about a little extra cash. It's becoming crucial for financial stability.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye too. So before we get lost in all the, exciting possibilities of 2025, let's
Yeah.
make sure we're on the same page. How does this article define passive income?
Well, it defines it as making money that requires minimal effort to maintain after your initial setup. But that initial setup is key. The misconception is that it's all beaches and cocktails from day one.
Right, it's not about winning the lottery.
Exactly. Building those income streams takes work, planning, sometimes ongoing management. The passive part comes later, and even then, it's rarely completely hands-off.
So it's more about building systems that work for you even when you're not actively working on them.
Precisely. It's about having your money work for you rather than the other way around.
Okay, so we've got the definition down. But why is 2025 being highlighted as the year for passive income? What's so special about it?
Well, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, the economic uncertainty. Diversifying income isn't just a nice-to-have anymore. It's becoming essential to weather potential storms.
Makes sense. Spreading the risk makes you less vulnerable.
Exactly. And the other big factor, and this is where it gets exciting, is the explosion of technology. We're talking AI, online platforms, tools that can automate and manage these income streams in ways we couldn't have imagined a few years ago.
It's not just about the ideas anymore. It's about having the tech to make them work for you.
Right. It's leveling the playing field in a lot of ways. You don't need to be a tech whiz. These tools are becoming increasingly user-friendly.
Okay, I'm already getting ideas. So the article lays out 5 key strategies for passive income. Let's start with the one that's probably on everyone's mind: real estate.
It's a classic for a reason. Rental properties, REITs. Those are the bread and butter of real estate passive income. But the article goes deeper, looking at some really interesting trends specific to 2025.
Like what? I'm intrigued.
Well, co-living spaces are gaining a lot of traction, especially among younger generations. It's not just about renting out a room, it's about creating a community.
So you're not just a landlord, you're creating a social experience.
Exactly. It's a different approach that resonates with a growing demographic. And then there's fractional real estate investing, which allows you to buy a portion of a property.
So you don't need a huge amount of capital to get started in real estate. That's a game changer for a lot of people.
Right. It lowers the barrier to entry and allows you to diversify your portfolio without breaking the bank.
Okay, so real estate is getting a modern makeover. What's next on the list?
The next strategy is dividend stocks and ETFs. This is where you become a part owner of a company and potentially earn a share of its profits.
So instead of just hoping a stock goes up in value, you're getting paid just for owning it.
Precisely. It's a way to generate income from your investments without actively trading. And then there's the beauty of compounding growth. Your initial investment earns dividends, which are reinvested, earning more dividends, and so on. It creates a snowball effect that can really build wealth over time.
That sounds almost too good to be true, but I know there are always caveats, right?
Of course, it's
Yeah.
not a guaranteed return, and the market can fluctuate.
Right.
But for long term, relatively low maintenance income, dividend stocks and ETFs are definitely worth exploring. And this is where those technological advancements come into play.
How so?
Well, there are now platforms that use AI to analyze dividend stocks, identify promising opportunities, and even automate the reinvestment process.
So you can leverage technology to make smarter decisions and manage your investments more effectively.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it and helps you build a diversified portfolio.
This is fascinating stuff. It feels like we're really getting a glimpse into the future of investing. But let's move on to the next strategy, which I have to admit always makes me a little curious. Online businesses, it seems like everyone's talking about it, but how do you actually make it work for passive income?
It's definitely become a bit of a buzzword, but the potential is real. The key is to focus on creating assets that can generate income without requiring your constant attention. Think about things like digital products.
Okay, like ebooks, online courses, that kind of thing.
Exactly. You create it once and it can be sold over and over again. And with platforms like online learning marketplaces and self-publishing tools, the barriers to entry have never been lower.
So you're leveraging the power of the internet to reach a global audience. I can see how that could be incredibly scalable.
It is. And it's not just limited to information products. The article also mentions things like software as a service, where you're essentially providing a subscription-based software solution.
That's interesting. So instead of selling a one-time product, you're creating a recurring revenue stream.
Exactly. And with the rise of AI and automation, even tasks like customer support and marketing can be partially automated, making these businesses even more passive over time.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to online business. It's not just about hustling 24/7. It's about building systems that can work for you.
Right. And this ties back to the importance of technology in 2025. These platforms and tools are constantly evolving, making it easier than ever to launch and manage an online business.
Okay, I'm definitely putting explore online business models on my to-do list. Let's move on to the next strategy. Licensing and royalties.
This one is all about leveraging your creative talents. Think about things like writing a book, composing music, creating digital art, or even developing software.
I get the book part, but what about the other things? How do you generate passive income from, say, a piece of music?
Well, you can license your music to be used in films, TV shows,
Right.
commercials, video games, all sorts of things.
So every time your music is played, you get a royalty payment.
Exactly. And with the rise of streaming services and online content creation, the demand for licensed music is only going to increase.
That's amazing. It's like your creativity is working for you even when you're not actively creating.
Right. And this applies to other creative works as well. You can license photographs,
Mhm.
illustrations,
Ah,
even software code.
okay, this is opening up a whole new world of possibilities for me. It's not just about selling your time. It's about leveraging your assets to create multiple streams of income.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of passive income. It's about building a portfolio of income-generating assets that can work for you, even when you're not actively working on them.
All right, let's move on to our final strategy, which I think is a good one to end on because it's often overlooked. High-yield savings accounts and bonds.
These are often considered the safe and steady options. They typically offer lower returns compared to stocks or real estate,
Huh.
but they also come with significantly less risk.
So it's a good option for someone who's risk-averse, but still wants to see their money grow.
Exactly. And with interest rates expected to rise in the coming years, these options could become even more attractive.
That's interesting. So even in the world of passive income, there's something for everyone, regardless of their risk tolerance.
Absolutely. And that's one of the key takeaways from this article. It's not about finding the one right way to do passive income. It's about understanding the options and choosing the strategies that align with your individual goals and risk profile.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from the traditional real estate investments to the more cutting-edge online business models. As you've been listening, what stood out to you? What's piqued your interest?
Well, what's fascinating to me is how technology is not only making these strategies more accessible, but also creating entirely new avenues for passive income, things we haven't even thought of yet.
Right, the landscape is constantly evolving, and it's exciting to think about what the future holds, but I think the most important thing is to take that first step.
Absolutely. You don't need to have it all figured out from the start. Just pick one strategy that resonates with you and start exploring.
You know, as we're wrapping up this deep dive into passive income, I keep thinking about something Melissa Houston mentioned in the article, being cash confident. What do you think she means by that?
I think it's a brilliant way to frame it. It goes beyond just knowing the numbers. It's about having a belief in your ability to not just manage money, but to make it work for you, to see opportunities, not limitations.
So it's almost like an entrepreneurial mindset, even if you're not starting a traditional business.
Exactly. It's about taking control, making informed decisions, and not being intimidated by the financial world.
Because honestly, I think for a lot of people, finances can feel scary or overwhelming. Maybe that's why this idea of passive income is so appealing. It feels like a way to take some of that pressure off.
I think you're right. And the beauty of these strategies we've discussed is that they can be scaled to fit your comfort level. You can start small, dip your toes in, and gain confidence as you go.
That's a great point. It's not about jumping into the deep end. It's about finding your pace.
Exactly. And the more you learn,
Yeah.
the more you experiment, the more cash confident you become. It's a positive cycle.
I love that. So if our listener is feeling inspired, but maybe a little unsure of where to start, what would you recommend as a first step?
I'd say take a look at the 5 strategies we discussed and ask yourself, which one sparks the most curiosity? Which one feels like it could fit into your life, even in a small way? Them. Carve out some time each day, even just 30 minutes, to research and learn about that specific area.
So if someone's drawn to the idea of an online business, they might start researching different business models,
Hmm.
exploring platforms, maybe taking a free online course.
Exactly. Or if real estate is calling to them,
Hmm.
they could start attending local meetups, connecting with investors, or reading books about specific strategies. The resources are out there. It's about taking that initial step.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel like I've gone from feeling a little intimidated by passive income to feeling excited about the possibilities.
That's fantastic to hear. And remember, it's a journey. There will be challenges. There will be learning curves.
Yeah.
But that's part of the process.
And who knows, maybe by this time next year, we'll have listeners writing in to share their passive income success stories.
That would be amazing.
Well, on that note of possibility and inspiration, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive. As always, thank you for sharing your insights and expertise.
It was my pleasure.
And to our listener, we hope you found this deep dive valuable. Remember, the future of your finances is in your hands. Take action, explore, and who knows, maybe passive income is the key to unlocking your financial freedom. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.